Good morning, my dear students. Once again, I am here before you with 100 plus main points, and these are points are based on NCRT books. So let's start. The first chapter is the rise of nationalism in Europe. Before starting the revision, I want to tell you one thing, my dear student, that you will read all points very carefully and the question may be arise from the beginning. So keep in your mind, if you read all points very carefully, then you will be able to solve all multiple choice question, 1 mark question, even 2 marks question in your examination. So let's start. In 1848, Frederic Choriot, a French artist, prepared a series of 4 prints. Frederic Choriot, visualizing his dream of a world made of democratic and social republics. The first print of the series shows the people of Europe and America. Artist of the time of the French Revolution personified liberty as a female figure. Germany bringing the flag, black, red, and gold color. Absolutist means literally a government or system of rule that has no restraint on the power exercised. Utopia means a vision of a society that is so ideal that is that it is unlikely to actually exist. Nation state means one the which the majority of its citizens and not only its ruler came to develop a sense of common identity and shared history or tradition. The meaning of the Latin word libre means free. Ernest Renan, the French philosopher, lecture delivered at University of Sorbonne in 1882. Plebiscite, a direct vote by which all the people of reason are asked to accept or reject a proposal. The first clear expression of the nationalism came with the French Revolution in 1789. France, as you would remember, was a full-fledged territory state in 1789 under the rule of an absolute monarch. La Patria means the fatherland. Le Citoyen means the citizen. The cover of a German almanac designed by the journalist Andres Rabman in 1798 through a return to monarchy who had destroyed the democracy in France, Napoleon. The Civil Code of 1804, usually known as the Napoleonic Code, German confederation of 39 states that had been set up by Napoleon. The term liberalism derived from the Latin root liber, meaning free. Suffrage means the right to vote. LA, the measurement of cloth. In 1834, a custom union, Jalvarian, was formed at the initiative of Prussia and joined by most of the German states. Friedrich List, professor of economics at the University of Tübingen in Germany. Treaty of Vienna, 1815. Duke Metternich, Austrian Chancellor. Vienna is in Austria. In 1815, representative of the European power, British, Russia, Prussia, and Austria, who had collectively defeated Napoleon in the Battle of Waterloo. The Vienna Congress was hosted by the Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. Giuseppe Mazzini was an Italian revolutionary. Giuseppe Mazzini, born in Geneva in 1807, Giuseppe Mazzini became a member of the Secret Society of the Carbonian Society. As a young man of 24 years, Giuseppe Mazzini was sent into exile in 1831 for attempting a revolution in Liguria. He subsequently founded 2 more underground societies, first Young Italy in Marseilles and then Young Europe in Bern. Mazzini believed that God had intended nation to be the natural unit of mankind. Giuseppe Mazzini as the most dangerous enemy of our social order, described by Duke Metternich. When France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold. Duke Metternich. Greece has been part of the Ottoman Empire since the 15th century. Struggle for independence amongst the Greek, which began in 1821. The English poet organized fund and later went to fight in the war, where he died of fever in 1824. That was Lord Byron. The Treaty of Constantinople, 1832. Greece as an independent nation recognized by Treaty of Constantinople of 1832. John Gottfried Herder, German philosopher, vulgarized the true spirit of the nation. Thus, Volk means common people. Their brothers Jacob and Wilhelm Grims were born in the German city of Hanau. The great economic hardship in Europe in 1830, weavers in Silesia had led a revolt against the contractor in 1845. The journalist described the event in a Silesian village, William Wolff. Events of February 1848 in France had brought about the abolition of the monarch, and a republic based on universal male suffrage has been proclaimed. On 18 May 1848, 831 elected representatives marched in a festive procession to take their place in the Frankfurt Parliament. Frankfurt Parliament convened in the Church of St. Paul, whom the deputies offered the crown on this term to Frederick William IV, King of Prussia. Feminist means awareness of women's rights and interest based on the belief of the social, economic, and political equality of the gender. Ideology means system of ideas reflecting a particular social and political vision. Karl Wegener, the liberal politician, Louis Otto Peters, 1819 to 95, was a political activist who founded a women's generals and subsequently a feminist political association. The Habsburg ruler granted more autonomy to the Hungarians in 1867. Junkers were the large landowners of Prussia. Otto von Bismarck, chief minister of Prussia, was the architect of German unification. Three wars over 7 years with Austria, Denmark, and France. 7 years war ended in Prussian victory and completed the process of unification of Germany. The Prussian king was proclaimed German emperor in a ceremony held at Versailles in January 1871. William I, on the bitterly cold morning of 18th January 1871, an assembly gathered in the unheated Hall of Mirrors in the place of Versailles to proclaim the new German Empire headed by Kaiser William I of Prussia. During the middle of the 19th century, Italy was divided into 7 states. Out of 7 states, only one, Sardinia Piedmont, was ruled by an Italian princely house. The north was under Austrian Habsburg. The center was ruled by the Pope. The southern region were under the domination of the Bourbon King of Spain. Giuseppe Mazzini had sought to put together a coherent program for a unitary Italian republic during the 1830s. Chief minister who led the movement of unify the regions of Italy was neither a revolutionary nor a democrat. Cavour, through a tactful diplomatic alliance with France engineered by Cavour, Sardinia Piedmont succeeded in defeating the Austrian forces in 1859. Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of United Italy in 1861. Giuseppe Garibaldi is perhaps the most celebrated of Italian freedom fighters, who came from the family engaged in coastal trade and was a sailor in the merchant navy, was Giuseppe Garibaldi. In 1833, he met Mazzini, joined the Young Italy movement, and participated in a republican uprising in Piedmont in 1834. In 1867, Garibaldi led an army of volunteers, popularly known as Red Shirt. Wolfe was an Irishman. The symbols of New Britain, the British flag, Union Jack, the national anthem of the New Britain, God Save Our Noble King. Ethnic means related to a common racial, tribal, or cultural origin or background that a community identifies with or claims. Nation were then portrayed as female figure. Allegory of the nation means the female figure. During the French Revolution, artists used the female allegory to portray ideas such as liberty, justice, and republic. Germania became the allegory of the German nation. Mariana became the allegory of the France. Allegory means when an abstract idea is expressed through a person or things. Figure of Germania, Philip Waite prepared this figure in 1848. Now we will revise the meaning of the symbols. Broken chain means being freed. Breastplate with eagles, symbols of the German Empire's strength. Crown of oak leaves, heroism. Sword means readiness to fight. Olive branch around the sword, willingness to make peace. Black, red, and gold tricolor. Flag of the Liberals Nationalist in 1848, banned by the Duke of the German States. Rays of the rising sun, beginning of a new era. Figures the fallen Germania, prepared by Julius Habner in 1850. Germania guarding the Rhine. In 1860, the artist Lorenz Classen was commissioned to paint this image. Now some important dates. 1707, Act of Union between England and Scotland resulted in the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. 1797, Napoleon invaded Italy, Napoleonic War begins. 1801, Ireland was forcibly incorporated into the United Kingdom. 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of United Italy. 1864, Bismarck fought a war against Denmark and took control of Schleswig. 1867, Habsburg rulers granted more autonomy to the Hungarians. 1905, Slav nationalism gathered force in the Habsburg and Ottoman Empire. So, my dear students, these are the important points from your lesson. So, I assure that if you will revise these main points, surely you will able to solve all questions from this lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day.